Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about the components of PCR. In previous lecture we have discussed about what is PCR, what are the basic components of PCR, three major steps of PCR and advantages of PCR. In this video we will discuss briefly about all the basic components of PCR. So let's start. The first we have DNA template. What is DNA template? It's basically a DNA molecule that contains the target sequence that is to be amplified. It can be derived from patient genome, mitochondrial DNA, bacteria, viruses, fungi or parasites. From all these sources we can derive DNA template. Now, if you want to use DNA template in your laboratory, so what are the basic characteristics of DNA template? So let's see. The first we have, it is free of contaminating protein or contamination of proteins, because if it is contaminated, so we cannot use properly and it cannot be used for a PCR. The next is, it is without break or nicks, because if there are breaks or nicks in a DNA template, so it can cause stop of the DNA synthesis and also misincorporation of nucleotide. The good template should be avoided with high GC content, because it can cause the misincorporation of wrong nucleotide or bases. So here we have a template. Second we have nucleotides or DNTPs. What are nucleotides? These are basically the building blocks for DNA synthesis. What are these building blocks? These are basically adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. There are four building blocks that we use for DNA synthesis, and their standard concentration is 0.1 to 0.5 millimole that we use in PCR. So here we have cytosine, guanine, thymine and adenine. So next we have magnesium, that is a cofactor or divalent cation. It affects primer annealing, template denaturation and also enzyme activity, because increase or decrease concentration of magnesium can affect all these: primer annealing, template denaturation and enzyme activity. Now let's see, when we use the excess amount or less amount in our laboratory, so what are the effects? Excess amount gives high yield of non-specific products, but the less amount decreases the enzyme activity and also low yield of product. So we use in our laboratory its recommended concentration or standard concentration, that is 1 to 4 millimole. So here is all about the magnesium. Next we have DNA polymerase. That is basically the main basic component in PCR, because it adds and extends the nucleotide and helps in DNA synthesis. In early days, when Kary Mullis performed its first PCR, he used E. coli DNA polymerase. But the problem was he has to be added every time in each round of PCR, and every time the sample was denatured. So there is a big problem. So after that he used DNA polymerase that adds and extends the nucleotide, and also it maintains its activity throughout the heating and cooling cycle. So after that we use the DNA polymerase, because there was a problem with E. coli DNA polymerase. It cannot maintain its activity throughout the heating and cooling cycle, but instead of the tag DNA polymerase, it maintains its activity throughout the heating and cooling cycle. So what are the other variants of DNA polymerase? Let's see. Here we have some other variants of DNA polymerase. We have Teth polymerase or thermophilus, that helps in reverse transcriptase PCR, because in which we use the RNA template. Then we have the Wnt polymerase, because it can generate the large number of the products, almost 30,000. So here we have the other variants of DNA polymerase. And the most commonly used DNA polymerase is Taq DNA polymerase that is derived from the Thermus aquaticus. And the Taq polymerase is Thermus thermophilus. Here we have DNA template, DNA polymerase that adds and extends the nucleotide, and that is basically the main basic components in PCR. So next we have primers. What are primers? These are basically single stranded DNA fragments almost 20 to 30 bases in length. And in laboratory we use two types of primers, either the forward primer or a reverse primer. Forward primer is basically the 3' end of the antisense strand, and it is 3' to 5' direction, F and 3. From this you can easily remember 3' to 5' or it on antisense strand. Next we have reverse primer, that is 5' to 3' direction and complementary to 3' end of sense strand, that is sense strand, and that is reverse primer, complementary to sense strand, and that is from 5' to 3' direction. And the other we have the forward primer, that is on the 3' end of the sense strand, and it is from 3' to 5' direction. So here is all about the basic components of PCR. In future lectures, we will discuss how can we design the primers in our laboratory. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe and share. And for my untidy handwritten notes, you can follow me on Instagram. Thank you and take care.